Okay, guys, so we are done with the notes packet. I just want to do a little bit of practice now. So leave the notes nearby so you can reference them if you want. But on either another piece of paper or on the back of these notes, we have 12 problems that we're going to practice with. And the first 6, I'm going to ask that you answer all in radians, and the next 6, you are going to answer those in degrees. So I would like for you to copy them down. Try them on your own first, keeping in mind that there is only one right answer for each of them. The biggest thing is if I am asking you for something that is the inverse sign of something, remember that your range has to go from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So your answer is going to be in there, right? Negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. If we're talking about the inverse cosine of something, then your answer is going to be between 0 and pi. And if we're talking about the inverse tangent of something, then your answer has to go from, again, negative pi over 2 to pi over 2, but you're not going to ever include either of those in your answers because you can't take the tangent of negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So go ahead, pause this, write them down, try to answer them, and then if you click play here in a minute, I will have all the answers up for you. Okay, so here are your solutions. So again, maybe pause the video and check those. A couple things that I just want to reiterate to you. For example, like number 5, you have to have the answer negative pi over 4. You cannot have 7 pi over 4 because that's not between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So while 7 pi over 4 might have a sign of negative root 2 over 2, that cannot be your answer because it's not within the range that we talked about. Okay, so just be careful with that. The next ones that I want you to do, I actually want you to answer these with degrees. So think about, again, for the inverse sine function, we were talking about going from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So that means now you're going from negative 90 degrees to positive 90 degrees. For the inverse cosine function, you're going to be going from 0 to, whoops, not 90, 0 to 180. And then for the inverse tangent function, your range goes from negative 90 to 90, but excluding those numbers. So go ahead, pause the video, and let's see if you can come up with those solutions. And here are your solutions for all of the ones in degrees. And we'll talk more about this tomorrow. So if you're still a little shaky, no worries, but hopefully you're starting to understand how there's only one answer. Like I said, if you were to type any of these in your calculator in degree mode, you would only get these answers out. You're not going to get any others. So I will see you tomorrow. Nice job.